Well, congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. Wow, what a game. I mean, it looked like they're going to run away with that thing, and credit to Penn State for coming back into that ball game. I did not have 82 points scored in the Big Ten championship game. 45-37 is your final score. Congratulations. We'll have blow-by-blow analysis plus your comments. We are live on a late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Locked on Big Ten Live starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten Live. I'm Craig Shemon. 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. And I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube and part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Of course, you can place your first $5 bet. You get started with $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com and get started. So the Ducks get to sing "We Are the Champions" in year one in the Big Ten. We'll have all of that, your reaction, my reaction right now, live immediately following this game. And we'll look ahead to what took place in the other conference championships as well. In fact, just as we came on, Clemson, what a crazy finish with Clemson and SMU. Clemson wins it 35-31. We'll talk about how that affects the Big Ten teams in the playoff seedings. We'll do all of that tonight right here. But we'll start it off right away with the opening drive. Jordan James for the Oregon Ducks just kept running right at Abdul Carter, and that was the game plan in the early going for the Oregon Ducks. And then they even threw to him once. There was a Penn State face mask early on. Dillon Gabriel ends up finding Kenyon Sadiq for a 28-yard wheel route touchdown. First touchdown of the season. Look, that was an amazing play. It was a great opening drive. 9 plays, 84-yard drive. Oregon 7-0 right off the bat. But, in fact, that was the 8th time they've scored on the opening drive this year. The best in the country. That's what Oregon does. Just a walk in the park for them. Penn State gets the ball for the first time, and they answer. Now they try a little Ty Warren. We talk about him all the time here on Locked On Big Ten, is the secret weapon, if you will. He does everything. They try to get the ball to him a lot of creative ways in this game, but he bobbles that snap because he was behind center. Bobbled it. Nick Singleton kind of ran into him, but then Nick Singleton made up for it. In fact, both Katron Allen and Nick Singleton rushed for over 100 yards tonight. They were incredible. He rushed for 41 yards and got to the Oregon 22. Now that drive stalled because actually the Oregon secondary did a pretty good job. And Ryan Barker had to settle for a 33-yard field goal, 8-play drive. But Penn State's on the board. Both teams had the ball. Both teams scored. We got ourselves a ball game at 7-3. Oregon starts their next drive at the 25-yard line. Noah Winnington now. They got Jordan James. They got Noah Winnington. Both teams with a 1-2 punch at running back is incredible. He had a 26-yard run to midfield, then back to Jordan James. At this point, Penn State has realized, we can't stop the run. So they go to 5 defensive linemen. They start moving Abdul Carter around so that Oregon has a harder time keying on him. And then Dillon Gabriel ends up finding Kenyon Sadiq again for his second touchdown. 10-play, 75-yard drive. Sadiq, he didn't have any touchdowns this year. These were the first 2. Think about it. I mean, Penn State and everybody else is focusing on Tez Johnson, Trayshawn Holden, Evan Stewart, tight end Terrence Ferguson, and all of a sudden, Kenyons are running all over the place, scoring touchdowns, and Oregon is up 14-3 as we're winding down the first quarter. Penn State, again, wanting to get Ty Warren involved in this ball game. A couple of passes to him. He dropped the second one. There may have been a false start there. And Drew Aller then found Tyler Warren for 28 yards to the Oregon 22-yard line. And then Drew Aller to Nick Singleton, who is all over the field. If Penn State had won the game, Singleton would have been the MVP of this game. He got a 22-yard touchdown for a 7-play, 75-yard drive. And it was a quick one, under 2 minutes. So Penn State avoiding getting blown out by any means, right? They're now down 14-10 at this point. Oregon then there's an unnecessary roughness on a touchback. So Oregon starts at the 40-yard line. I've never seen an unnecessary roughness, I don't think, on a touchback call before, but it happened. And then Dylan Gabriel finds Tez Johnson, who was also remarkable tonight, to the Penn State 38-yard line for a 22-yard play. But then Penn State gets a sack, and then we end the first quarter. All right, we're kind of holding our breath. Which way is this game going to go? There are signs that Oregon's going to blow this thing out. Penn State trying to hang in here. We go to the second quarter. Dylan Gabriel finds Tez Johnson for 31 yards. Made 3 nice moves getting in there into the getting downfield to the Penn State 7-yard line. And then Dylan Gabriel finds Terrence Ferguson for a 4-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, we got a 7-play, 60-yard drive. And Oregon is now up 20-10 at this point. Extra point, 21-10. So Oregon, 3 drives, 3 scores, 3 touchdowns. They're rolling. Penn State then start racking up some penalties again now. They got another unnecessary roughness, 15 yards. Then on a 3rd and 9, they get to Penn State 3rd down. It doesn't work out, and they got a punt. So it's their first punt of the day for Penn State. Oregon's on their own 32. Penn State defense starts to stiffen up. Tom Allen's group stiffen up a little bit. A 3 and out. Oregon, again, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Now they got a 3 and out. They got a punt. So that's a victory. That's a win right there for Penn State. And by the way, it's a great punt by Oregon. It went 55 yards to the Penn State 11-yard line. And then this looked like lights out at this point, because this is where Drew Aller threw an interception to Dante Manning. And that wasn't, and it was almost a pick 6 because he ran it 24 yards. He almost got it. He got it to the 1. Jordan James, everybody knew he was getting the ball, plunges in for a 1-yard touchdown. Now Oregon is up 28-10 with 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. But instead of laying down, Penn State bouncing right back. Katron Allen, 24 yards. Nick Singleton, 17 yards. Drew Aller to Amari Evans, 22-yard, wide open touchdown. Boom. Coming off of a turnover like that, to go ahead and put a drive like that together, just forget about what just happened and go. It was a great drive by Drew Aller. 8 plays, 75 yards, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. So now Penn State is within 28-17, about 6.5 minutes to go in the half. And guess what? The Penn State defense does it again. Oregon goes 3 and out, and it has to punt again. Penn State, Nick Singleton, 15 yards to midfield. There was a defensive hold, or actually, Oregon got away with a defensive holding on an incomplete pass in that drive. But Drew Aller then had the keeper. He stumbled short of the first down marker. You remember that? But then Katron Allen gets the first down to the 37-yard line. Drew Aller finds Ty Warren for 19 yards down to the 18-yard line. And it was a physical play. Nick Singleton looks like he was stopped, but then he bounced out, got 8 yards to the 10-yard line. Katron Allen got the first down at the 7th, and that was the 2-minute timeout at the first half. And they come back, and Drew Aller with the keeper for the touchdown. So Drew Aller throws an interception. It looks like the game has just gotten away. And then he leads them to 2 scoring drives before the end of the half. And they're long drives. This was a 10-play, 64-yard drive. It was remarkable. So now we're at 28-14. I thought maybe James Franklin would go for 2 at that point. Did anybody think that? Because that would have brought him within 3 points at that point. But they kicked the extra point. It's 28-24. And that's how we thought we were going to end the half. But Oregon had all 3 timeouts left. They get the ball back. They didn't use their timeouts. It was Penn State using the timeouts on that last drive. Jordan James, 7 yards. Tez Johnson, 25 yards. Jordan James breaking a tackle for 9 more yards. Dylan Gabriel with a scramble. All this is going on, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and they had to settle for a field goal. Atticus Sappington. And we go into the half, 31-24. Oregon on top, but Penn State has gotten off the mat. And so now we have ourselves a ball game here in the second half. So we're going to talk about that second half and the key plays there. And I'm going to continue to give me my opinion and analysis on it, but I'm going to get yours. I see the comments are racking. We got like almost 200 comments already. Thank you. We'll get to as many as we can here in just a minute. In the meantime, if you're new and you're just describing or just finding us here on a Saturday night, Sunday morning, we do this every day. We don't go live every day. We go live after the big games on the weekends, but we're here putting out podcasts every day. I'm going to ask you before you go to subscribe, hit the little subscribe button. It's free. It's always free. It doesn't require any further information. And if you can subscribe and follow Locked On Big Ten for free, that way you get the latest episode of Locked On Big Ten as soon as it becomes available each and every day. Also, you see the scroll on the bottom? That's talkbig10.com. That's our website. We put all of our podcasts there chronologically, and we group them by school. Like if you want to see some Oregon Duck featured podcasts, you can find it right there. We also have links if you want to buy some merchandise. Christmas is in like 2 weeks. You want to do some Christmas shopping, get some Oregon Duck paraphernalia, Penn State stuff, hats, shirts, t-shirts, pennants. Just click it on right there. Talk Big 10. That's the number 10, talkbig10.com. And we'll take care of you, making it real easy for you. All right, our second half analysis of this game. And we'll also get to your comments as well. And I want to run down quickly later on all the other conference championship games and what that means for the 4 Big Ten teams that should be in the playoffs. Tomorrow, noon Sunday, we'll find out for sure. All that is coming up 1 minute from now. We are live on Locked On Big Ten. I want to tell you about Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile, great deal. If you want to get some mobile phone service here and don't want to go through a bunch of hoops, there's an easy way to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan. The hardest part of it is sitting on hold with your current provider to get rid of them. So get started. Go to mintmobile.com/lockedoncollege. And there you'll see right now all 3-month plans are only $15 a month, including the unlimited plan. So get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, and go to mintmobile.com/lockedoncollege. That's mintmobile.com/lockedoncollege. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/lockedoncollege. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 GB on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. All right. Thank you again for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen each and every day that we're out here, in a special live edition right now, but especially you everydayers that are here with us each and every day. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, share, follow, and like Locked On Big Ten, your team every day. And don't forget our website, talkbig10.com. All right, so we pick up the action in the second half. Oregon's got the lead, and Penn State comes out. Tyler Warren with this 14-yard catch, but he dropped the ball on another one on a quick play. Katron Allen goes to the tent now. He's hurt his ankle. It's 4th and 5 at the 23. Ryan Barker says, all right, well, we'll just go out there and kick a 40-yard field goal, and he missed it. That was kind of a little momentum killer to start the second half, I thought, for Penn State at that point. That was unfortunate for them. Oregon gets the ball. Dylan Gabriel rolls out, finds Tez Johnson, who was amazing on Saturday night, 48 yards, and they cap off a 5-play, 77-yard drive. By the way, they got away with a lineman downfield. They didn't get called on that play. He was about 5 yards down. College, you can go 3 yards. NFL, it's just 1. All those rules with the RPOs. Dylan Gabriel had rolled out. Could have been a running play. Could have been bad. He ended up throwing, and that lineman was downfield by about 5 yards. They didn't call it. Gary Danielson went back and pointed that out on the broadcast. So now Oregon is up 37-24. We're midway through the third already. Penn State comes out, a couple of incomplete passes. Again, they had missed the field goal on the last time out. They end up punting. They have no momentum again. The wind is out of their sails. Then Oregon, when they get the ball back, as we're winding down the third quarter, a lot of Noah Winnington, 9 yards, 15 yards. But then ultimately they stall. They punt, and they get it all the way down to the 2-yard line. So think about this. Penn State has come out. They missed a field goal. Then they punt. Then they receive a punt on their own 2. What do? Are they dead? No. 98-yard drive, right? 6-play, 98-yard drive. It was helped out by Oregon. He made a mistake here. They had the penalty, hands to the face. That was very costly. Then Katron Allen, he's back. Remember, he was in the 10 earlier. And he ends up going 32 yards. And then they were moving the ball. He got another 26-yarder to the 45-yard line. Now we go to the fourth quarter. Bo Perbula comes in. 18-yard run to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal, and Katron Allen scores the touchdown. They were going to go for 2 here. Ty Warren, left-hander, rolled out left side, didn't go anywhere. Slipped up a little bit, no good. So, still 1-score game. It's 38-30. Penn State with the 30. We got almost a full fourth quarter to go. And Penn State's kind of known for second half comebacks, right? They've had 4 of them where they were behind in the fourth quarter this year and ended up winning. So they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Oregon gets the ball at this point, and Dillon Gabriel fumbles the ball, but he recovered it. Big break for the Ducks here. Then he had that nice pass to Tez Johnson for 16 yards, and they were in a 4th and a yard and a half situation. And Dillon Gabriel probably made the best play of the night on this particular point of the ball game. Found Terrence Ferguson for 20 yards, the first down to the 15-yard line. They're rolling at this point. Jordan James, 12 yards. Jordan James, 3-yard touchdown. 12-play, 75-yard drive. Again, a backbreaker for Penn State because it couldn't stop them on that 4th down. And now Oregon is up 45-30. We're down to 7.5 minutes to go. At this point, Tez Johnson has 11 catches and 181 yards. Pretty good. By the way, on the night, Dillon Gabriel, 4 touchdown passes. Pretty good. Then something weird happened at this point with Penn State. They got robbed on a catch. They made a catch, but they set the ball back at 2nd and 10. James Franklin's going nuts. They ultimately got the first down, but that was a poor piece of officiating at that point, both there and the office upstairs, whatever they call it, that buzzes in for the review. Drew Allen had a couple of nice scrambles here. Had this is where he made his play of the night. 4th and 10 from the 15. Drew Allen, he's under pressure. They got his jersey. He almost kind of just threw it up for grabs because he knew he was about to be sacked. Harrison Wallace catches the touchdown. Boom. 45-37. Got 3:41 to go. But ultimately, that's how we ended up. 45-37, our final score in this ball game. It was an amazing Big Ten championship game. I'd be curious. I'm going to talk about this later on the podcast, how you guys feel like back in the old days when we only had 4 teams making the playoffs. This game would have been for, all right, the winner goes on to the playoffs and the loser goes to some other nice bowl. We already knew going into this game that both Oregon and Penn State are going to the playoffs no matter what. This was a game for seeding and for a bye. We have those discussions all the time. Is going to a 12-team playoff better? Look, I said on my podcast earlier this week, no team will benefit more or would have benefited more over the last 10 years than Penn State had we had a 12-team playoff instead of a 14 playoff. And this is a case in point right here. So they lose the game. They're disappointed tonight. Nittany Lions fans are disappointed, but they're still going to the playoffs. All right, let's run in some comments here and see what's going on here. And see if I can get this up here. You got about like 300 of them to get to. All right, I got a lot of these. Got a bad word there. Sorry about that. I'm not going to put those up. Apologize for that. So let's see. Go Ducks. Perry Holloman, Penn State, and Oregon Ducks were holding a lot throughout this game. Yeah, there were some missed plays in there for sure. Tom checking in. Got to go to ESPN here now after you guys are done. They're homers over there. Hey, I tell you what, Let's see. More Oregon Ducks. Go Ducks. Hey, good season, Nittany Lions here. I see some of that on here. Thomas complaining about Oregon's defense. Perry says, we're here big time. Good job. And some coaching criticism here, play calling criticism for Penn State. That was just a one time I thought they would go for two. Let's see here. Blaine says, I watch you every day. What a game. The Ducks will go to the doctor and get better. Go Ducks. So yeah, they're going to get the bye. Here's Rob says, this is the Ducks year. Bring home the Natty Boys. My Lord Lester says, we are going to get younger recruits from now on any way we can. Yeah, look, man, so Penn State didn't win the championship here tonight, but they still have a lot to play for here in the college football playoffs. So anyway, let's see. There's a quack and a go Ducks. Card dealer Mo says Oregon will take on anyone in our way. And anyway, somebody appreciates it. We're going live here. Thank you very much. So yeah, we do that. We go live after these big games on the weekend, but we're here every day, Monday through Friday, with regularly scheduled podcasts, both audio and video. So anyway, we hope you join us. If you are new to us, we always appreciate that as well. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna look at the other conference championship games and how they might affect the Big Ten, because now we have the final playoffs coming tomorrow. The playoff poll, if you will, and all the matchups. And we'll learn bowl games too. And we got a lot of Big Ten teams getting into bowl games, even if they aren't in the college football playoffs. So all that coming up here in just 1 minute on Locked On Big Ten. I want to tell you about FanDuel. FanDuel makes watching games a lot more fun. They're fun to begin with, but you got a little action on it. It's great. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place your bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today, and you get started with $150 of bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Monday, we got some Monday Night Football with the Bengals and the Cowboys. Cowboys +5. I like the Bengals in this one, even though their MO is to score a lot of points, a lot of touchdowns, and lose games. I think they can beat the Cowboys. I also like the over on this one, 49.5, because I think the Bengals will get close to that by themselves. Check it all out at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, as we continue to roll here on a live podcast, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Big Ten Championship in the books. Congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. Friday, we had Boise State officially punch their ticket with a 21-7 win over UNLV in the Mountain West Championship. Ashton Jeanty, if you haven't seen him, going to be a Heisman finalist, probably in the final two if he doesn't win it all together. 209 yards, 75-yard touchdown at the end of the half. I saw that last night. They're ranked higher than the Big 12 champions, so they should get a first-round bye in the playoffs. That's how it works. Speaking of the Big 12 championship, it was number 16 Iowa State versus number 15 Arizona State. Arizona State wins 45-19. Cam Scannaboo with 170 yards in this one. Now, Arizona State was picked 16th out of 16 teams, and they won the Big 12. Now, here's the deal. Brett Yormark, their commissioner, he's been complaining about the Mountain West team shouldn't get a bye and a higher seed than the Big 12 champion. Well, yeah, they should, because you're ranked nowhere near them. So just relax, maybe pipe down a little bit, just take your medicine, be glad that Arizona State is going to be in the college football playoffs. The SEC championship. Wow. Now that was a game. It went overtime. Georgia was the fifth ranked, Texas second ranked. So they may flip tomorrow. Georgia wins in overtime, 22-19. They're already coming off that 8 overtime win against Georgia Tech. Now they got an overtime game here. But the amazing story was Carson Beck was knocked out on the last play of the first half. It looked like an elbow injury. Got all twisted trying to throw the ball and got hit. So he was out. And we'll see whoever maybe a Big Ten team is going to get Georgia in the playoffs. And because Carson Beck may not be playing. Gunnar Stockton came in for the entire half. Scary play. He was running into the goal line in overtime, trying to get at least to the goal line, if not score. He got a helmet-to-helmet hit, popped his helmet right off. It wasn't targeting because it was the side of the defender's helmet, not straight on. And then because his helmet came off, he had to leave the game for a one play. You know the rule. So Carson Beck's got to come in but his right arm is dangling. He's only got one arm. So his job is to come in there, take the snap, hand it off to Trevor Etienne, who's got Kevlar around his ribs with a bruised ribs. He was game time decision. And he goes in for the game-winning touchdown there and the SEC title and the bye in the playoffs. It was a big-time finish. And then just as we took to the airwaves here with our live podcast of the ACC championship game, Clemson had a big lead in this game all night long. But then SMU put together a 16-play drive to go ahead and tie this game at 31 with 4 seconds to go. Or maybe it was 14 seconds to go. Clemson had a big kickoff return and about 41 yards. And then they had one 17-yard play and then kicked the 56-yard field goal. And that was it. They win. So here's the thing. SMU was ranked 8th, right ahead of Indiana at 9. Clemson was ranked 17th. Clemson's in the playoffs now. They just stole a spot. Does SMU fall out altogether from 8 out of the picture altogether? Or do they stay in because the committee doesn't want to penalize a team that made it to the conference championship game? As you know, some teams have to play this extra game, some don't. That would probably affect Alabama. I don't think it'll affect Indiana. I think it'll affect Alabama. So we'll find out Sunday, noon. ESPN's doing this whole deal. We'll have all the rankings. We'll be talking about it on our podcast throughout the Monday. I mean, Monday, this is it. This is the college football playoffs. We're ready to go. We'll talk some more about the Oregon Ducks as Big Ten champions. So we're looking forward to all that. It's going to be a big, big week. And by the way, Sunday, we got some Big Ten men's basketball. Maryland is at number 8, Purdue. That's at noon on the Big Ten Network Eastern time. And then UCLA is at number 12, Oregon, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific on the Big Ten Network as well. There are many ways for you to reach out to this podcast. You can interact with me at Twitter at TalkBig10, 10. Also, our website, talkbig10.com. Before you go, be sure to subscribe and follow this podcast right now on your favorite podcast app. That way you'll get the latest episode of this podcast as soon as it becomes available each and every day. Thank you for joining us on a very big and live and exciting Saturday night, Sunday morning, Locked On Big Ten edition. And once again, congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. Hopefully, once the College Football Playoff Committee is all set and done, we've got 4 Big Ten teams in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure we will. So congratulations to Penn State on a good season as they were runner-ups in the Big Ten championship. Ohio State's still sitting out there, as is Indiana. So lots to talk about here. If you just discovered us here tonight, we are your source for all things Big Ten. News, opinion, analysis. We have it right here. So thanks for checking us out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. For Locked On Big Ten Live, I'm Craig Shemon. We'll talk to you next time.